We are living in historic real estate times in South Florida. Anthony Lamacchia here, broker owner of Lamacchia Realty, and I'm here to give you a full real estate market update for the first quarter, for right now, and for what I see coming in the summer months for all of South Florida. I'm going to review some data with you and talk to you about it. But first, I want to talk to you home buyers and home sellers and give you some words of wisdom. Number one, home sellers, it is not a year ago. It is not 2 years ago. It is where we are now. April of 2023. Interest rates are a few points higher than they were a year ago. Plus, there are some stringent condo guidelines that are having a big impact on condominiums, particularly those in towers, all across South Florida and really all across the country. But we as a company, Lamacchia Realty, serve New England and South Florida, so we're obviously seeing it more here in South Florida because we sell a lot more condos in high rises here than we do up in the northern states. But we do have some up there as well, and we are seeing some issues with those as well up there. The reason I'm pointing this out is we are dealing somewhat in two different markets. If you are a seller of a single family home, you still, if you price correctly, likely have a lot of leverage, and you likely will get multiple offers on your property if you price correctly and you do not overplay your hand. If you are selling a condominium, pricing correctly is likely pricing lower than what has sold in the last 6 months, and that's just the way it is. Condominiums are getting somewhat of a double whammy. Since the tragic Surfside tower collapse, things have changed. So condos are getting hit with a market change, interest rate changes, plus condominium assessments that are going up because reserve requirements are getting increased dramatically. Also, insurance companies have gotten more strict, and mortgage companies have gotten more strict, and that's why we're seeing that. So if you are a seller, be realistic no matter what you're selling. If you're a seller of a condo, you need to get that price on the lower side so that you don't go too high, have it not sell, and then chase the market down. That's a frustrating situation to be in when you are a seller. Buyers, you should be thrilled no matter what you're buying. Interest rates are lower. You have a bit more power in your favor now than you did a year or 2 years ago, but do not overplay your hand. And do not be fooled into thinking this is a 2008 scenario where the market is just going to lose 40 to 50% of its value. No, not going to happen. Inventory is not even close to where it was. Inventory of properties for sale, homes for sale, not even close to where it was even prior to COVID. Never mind 08 and 9 when it was 4 or 5 times higher than even before COVID, and I'm going to show you some of that information. So don't you know, if something is listed at 300,000, for example, and everything in that neighborhood sold from 3 to 350, you should offer 300,000. Don't be offering 200 because you're not going to get it, and then when you don't get it, you can't get mad about it, okay? Don't overplay that hand. Let's jump in and look at some data, and I think you'll agree with me when I show you that information. Here we go, South Florida real estate market update. This is a market update page that we update every week. If you put in flrealestateupdates.com, you will find it. Take a look at the amount of properties being listed. Listeds are down. This is a massive reason that we are not going to see dramatic fallout in prices because there is simply not enough on the market. You need an oversupply for prices to fall out. Take a look here. 10,000 properties got listed in the month of March in all of the 3 South Florida counties, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County. Last year and the year before and the year before that, many more properties were listed. Obviously, the COVID year was different when people pulled their necks in and didn't list. But homes listed are down. We're seeing that all over the country, and it's no different here in South Florida. Now take a look at this. Average inventory, not average, active inventory. This is a snapshot on the 31st of March, 25,000 properties for sale. And think about that. Last year at this time, 14,000. So no doubt a dramatic increase, even though less is being listed. What does that tell you? There's less demand in the market, no question. But we're not even back to pre-COVID levels, which was over 50,000 properties for sale in all of South Florida. We're not even back to that. Never mind back in 08, 09, we were over 100,000 properties for sale, and that's why prices fell out to the extent that they did. So be aware of that so that you keep your mind in check and you don't start getting fooled into thinking there's just going to be some huge fallout, okay? Now, take a look at this. Homes pending per month. 9,200 properties pending in the month of March. Now, what did I just show you above? About 10,000 were listed. 9,200 went pending. So the inventory, 90% of it's being sopped up right in the same months, and the ones that aren't are the ones that are being unrealistic in pushing the envelope with the price, okay? We come down here, properties sold, still in line with the last couple of years, but noticeably a bit less than 21 and 22. So I shouldn't say the last couple of years. We're more in line with pre-COVID. 30-year fixed rate mortgage, rates are around 6.5%. I expect them to go down a bit as we get into the middle of May. Average selling price per month, take a look at this. Single families, notice it's down 860,000 compared to the prior two Marches that were up over 900. I want to point something out though, and you can go back, look at my market updates at the time. 1 year ago, when I was talking to you about single family price averages and condos, I said to you, ultra luxury is pulling the average up. So, and I said this at the time, I said, don't be fooled into thinking that if you own a $700,000 home, then it's suddenly worth 1.1 million because prices went up 30, 40%. And at the time I said it doesn't quite work that way. Well, we're seeing the same thing in reverse right now. There's less ultra luxury, so that is bringing the average down a bit more. But truth be told, have prices settled down, particularly in the second 6 months of 2022? Undoubtedly, they have settled a little bit. If you're a seller, recognize that, be realistic. You're a buyer, recognize it, be excited, but don't overplay that hand or you won't be able to buy anything. We're still seeing multiple offers, particularly on single families. Condos, take a look. Prices are down 3-4%. Same reasons. Less ultra luxury allows the average to go down more, but have prices settled? Yes. Do I expect them to settle a bit more in the months to come? Yes, but don't overplay that hand. Okay, we're not talking about a massive correction that's going to happen here. We're not going to go back to pre-pandemic pricing levels. But do I see some settlement happening? Yes. Be happy about that, buyers. Embrace it. But as I always say, every housing market update I did in all the states we're in, don't overplay your hand, whether you are a buyer or you are a seller. We are experiencing a classic overcorrection. Market got too hot for a couple years. Now it's cooling down extra. We'll get back to normalcy, and it'll happen in the next 18 months. So, if you are buying or selling, there's nothing to be disappointed about. If you're a buyer, I'd be a lot happier than I was a year ago. Good luck. Happy home buying and home selling, and I hope you're working with a Lamacchia realtor, whether you are buying or selling. They are here to help you. They know the local markets. Real estate is hyper-local, but I just gave you a broad scope of what is going on, and generally speaking, that applies to all those local markets. Good luck. Happy home buying.